So nice to see all the love and support here for Eric and Cynthia, their family, their awesome kids. And as soon as they come through the doors, I'll ask you to stand up, okay? Place is packed here. Hard to understand. Yeah, let us stand. Please be seated. I was a little worried about you folks on the front row. You're a little bit squeezed, weren't you? Shouldn't have eaten breakfast today, maybe. Well, my name is Daniel, and I'm very honored to be part of helping Smith Funeral Home to honor and remember and celebrate the lives of both Eric and Cynthia Grace. We certainly need Grace today on this occasion. So hard to say goodbye. So hard to believe all that's happened. I know that you folks are in shock, but I know it's going to be okay, and I know that the strength, the absolute energy and strength that Eric and Cynthia had is going to come through. And I know one of the things that's going to help so much all of you, I know Ariel and Alex, you're going to help your family and friends so much through this. They're all concerned about you. They all care so much about you. But I know you're going to take care of them in ways it's just hard to believe. You're going to take care of your Uncle Rob, aren't you, Alex? You are. Ariel, you're going to take care of your family. Grandpa Steve, Grandpa Richard, all the family. But you know, everyone here, I know everyone here stands for you, Alex and Ariel, your success, you making it through this. They stand for you in your lives. They want the best for you, and they're totally on your side. And to symbolize that, I just wonder if everyone here that stands for Alex and Ariel could just stand up for a moment. Turn around, stand up and look at them, Alex and Ariel, okay? Hard to see them. You kind of get lost with all these people. But everyone here, Ariel and Alex, they totally stand for you. They're there for you. They're going to do anything they can to love, support, nurture you. Nobody here is going to replace your parents. Nobody. But they all love you so much. Be seated, please. Thank you. Well, today we're going to start by listening to a beautiful song, a song that I understand was played at Eric and Cynthia's wedding. It's entitled My Best Friend by Tim McGraw.
So many searching till you walked into my life. It was a feeling I'd never known. For the first time, I didn't feel alone. You're more than a lover. There could never be another. Make me feel the way you do. And oh, we just get closer. I fall in love all over. Every time I look at you, I don't know where I'd be without you here with me. Life with you makes perfect sense. You're my best friend. You're my best friend. Oh yeah. You stand by me and you believe in me like nobody ever has. When my world goes crazy, you're right there to save me. You make me see how much I have. And I still tremble when we touch. Know the look in your eyes when we make love. You're more than a lover. There could never be another to make me feel the way you do. And oh, we just get closer. I fall in love all over. Every time I look at you. And I don't know where I'd be without you here with me. Life with you makes perfect sense. You're my best friend. Oh, you're my best friend. You're more than a lover. There can never be another. Make me feel the way you do. And oh, we just get closer. I fall in love all over. Every time I look at you. And I don't know where I'd be without you here with me. Life with you makes perfect sense. You're my best friend. Oh, you're my best friend. My best friend. Oh yeah. You're my best friend. My best friend.
Wow, what a beautiful couple. Amazing genes passed down to Ariel and Alex. Lively couple too, aren't they? Very lively. Full of spunk. Of course, I know, as you said, Steve, Eric swears up and down at 4 years old he landed that helicopter by himself. He did it. You know, just confident and energetic. I know, just, I'm sure hard to hold down sometimes. Love sports. Love baseball like you do, Alex. Understand that he was on the all-star baseball team in Little League. I'm sure you're there too, right? Oh, yeah. Definitely honoring and remembering your dad when you play baseball. It's a wonderful way. And I know Eric loved aviation, knew a lot about it, passionate about it, Very, very good pilot. One thing about them too, they both, I don't know how they blended it together because their strong personalities and their energy. Wow. And how did your brother negotiate this amazing, beautiful? Wow. Something, huh? I'm sure you were impressed, weren't you, Rob? Very impressed. A lot of that's because he was an amazing salesman, and he could sell. And the main thing he sold was himself. And he did a great job with that. And why do you think they got married, Alex, your parents? Very good. Boy, you're so quick. They told me you're smart. He had the right answer immediately. They got married because they loved each other. I'm sure they were crazy about each other, Ariel. Crazy about each other. You know, I did a little research on your mom's name. And I have a friend that's half Thai, half American. And she told me that Jai means heart. And Sum means full. So Sum Jai means full heart, or satisfied, content, or happy. Isn't that beautiful? And what do you think her heart was full of or happy of? Or the name altogether just means excited. Of course, she was happy about shopping. I know she loved purses, right, Richard? She loved nice clothes. She liked to shop. She liked nice things. I know Eric liked nice watches and nice things too. And, her heart was full because she loved her job. It was a beautiful thing how she got into a job that fit her. She loved. She loved children. She loved working in pediatrics, loved working at the Houston West Texas Children's Hospital. She loved her husband. And she loved her kids. And so much that she did was motivated to making your world as good as it possibly could be, Alex and Ariel. Wanting you to have the best life possible. Wanting you to just be successful, getting you into sports and encouraging you in baseball, encouraging you with cheerleading. Her heart was so full. And Eric was so blessed to have her as his wife and to have you as kids. Every time that Eric or Cynthia would talk to their dads here, what's the main thing they talked about? What's the main thing they talked about at work? Ariel's doing this. Eric landed that spot on the cheerleading team. Alex, man, he's awesome. Like Dash. He runs like you wouldn't believe. You wouldn't believe the stuff he does on the baseball team. Quick, fast, smart. And I hear a rumor too, Alex, that you're so much like your dad. So much like him. And you are. You're just, this guy, you're just, I can just tell, very intelligent. You're going to be able to sell anything. And you love your sister too, right, Alex? I know one thing that your parents would say to you, Ariel and Alex. Take care of each other. You guys are blood. And I know they would want you to stay together no matter what. And I'm so impressed with all the friends and all the support you have. The outpouring at work. I know you had memorials at Eric's work. Of course, at Cynthia's work. I was there at the hospital. So much love and respect for you too. And I was just blown away by talking to Jen, your mom's friend Jen. She knows your mom so well. Very close college friends. They not only went to one college, they went to like 3 colleges together. They were total wing girls in so many ways. She knows your dad very, very well too. And as you get older, as you mature, you definitely need to stay in touch with Jen. She's like, she said her mom's better half, but I'm sure your mom would say she's her better half. So she's gonna she made a video, a eulogy to remember, to honor Cynthia and Eric, and we're going to listen to that now at this time.
can't seem to wrap my brain and sorrow this morning around the loss of my soul sister, my friend, half my life, the best mom, nurse, wife, and friend to this group mourning her here today. What can I tell you about this awesome girl that I was blessed to meet day 2 of the vocational nursing program at Riverside Community College in 1996 that you don't already know and experience yourself in your individual relationships with her? We were in college together, and anyone here who's kept a college friend knows that the relationship is filled with stories and experiences that will never be repeated. There was the dancing and the partying and the boys. We were in Southern California, so there was the beach, the snowboarding, the all-nighters, and studying in between. A few skeletons in there as well, as evidenced by the photos I looked through this week that I had totally forgotten existed. That was all before Eric fulfilled her dreams of marriage and family, all before she welcomed sweet Ariel and their awesome Alex into this world and started the Grace family legacy. Before those 3 precious souls entered her life, she was Richard's daughter and Brandon's sister, and she was my friend. How does one quantify a life that created such strong bonds in other people? Because if you knew the Graces, then you knew the Austins and the Keeners and the Andersons. How do you capture the essence of a soul whose journey was cut short far too quick due to a senseless tragedy? How do you even begin to eulogize a soul that means as much to you as the air you breathe? This is what I will try to give to you in her memory today. Cynthia was born August 29, 1974, and raised by her dad, Richard St. Peter, in Corona, California. For a time, she was a first aid girl for the boys' basketball team. Well, that was until her grades fell, and as Richard, or Pops, will say, that was the end of her high school sports career. That didn't stop her activity, though, I tell ya. She graduated Centennial High School in Corona, California in 1992, and as any other Southern California native will know, there were countless hours and calories consumed at Miguel's Jr. on a regular basis. Cynthia graduated from Riverside Community College in 1997 with her associate degree in vocational nursing. She was immediately accepted and advanced placed into the RN program, successfully skipping the first 2 semesters of Nursing 1 and 2. A little nugget of history was that her acceptance letter arrived in the mail while she was at the dentist. Dr. Blash in Corona, as a matter of fact, and her stepmom called me to tell me the news first before Cynthia. Of course, she had opened the letter without permission, to which was irrelevant when the celebration ensued. I went to the dentist with celebratory balloons to tell her during her cleaning that she got in. The entire office celebrated with us. What a smart, successful, and determined student she was. Her excitement was palpable. Cynthia was a tenacious overachiever, smart and driven to succeed. Competitive to beat out everyone in the class with her grades and papers, and her nursing care plans rocked. In 97, we were working together at Kaiser Permanente in Riverside, and 1 year later, Cynthia graduated with another associate degree, and this time in associate degree nursing, her ADN. It wasn't long before she had her dream job in pediatric ICU at Children's Hospital, Orange County. She was excellent at it. A real passionate and smart nurse, she took care of the sickest kids and families. She helped families with death and loss and recovery of their children. She worked nights and days and blessed family after family with her ability to do the right thing for each patient that crossed her path. Truly a calling for her. I couldn't imagine doing the job she had chosen. She was excellent at this, truly amazing. Wasn't long before things changed and she moved from Riverside and Corona to a small apartment near the beach, sharing as a roommate with Eric and a very tight circle of friends at the time. Not much further into that relationship, and they found themselves in love and planning a wedding. I know Eric's brother Rob and myself are grateful for the memories surrounding their wedding 15 years ago as we stood up for them and signed our witness to their love on a yacht out of Newport Beach, California. That was December of 2000. What a fun night. What a great way to celebrate Cynthia and Eric. There was magic on the ocean that night for two passionate kids in love. They were a lucky couple to have each other, and their love showed. It was in the air. Love was on the dance floor and in that relationship. And as life has a tendency to do, this is when the milestones continue like clockwork. My family had already moved from Southern California to Arizona when Cynthia and Eric bought their first townhouse in Chino Hills. This was their first home, where we celebrated Ariel's baby shower and impending arrival. Oh my goodness, and where many other family gatherings were hosted. When Ariel was born in June of 2001, I remember I flew out immediately to rock the precious baby to sleep. I remember feeding and caring for a very sore first-time mommy, all the while loving sweet Ariel. Cynthia was so dedicated as a mom, a perfectionist in all things, including motherhood. What a gift to have this memory of her that I can share with you and her children. It wasn't long before they bought a bigger house in Chino Hills and added Alex to the Grace family. What a stud he was. Seriously, a bruiser, all boy from day one. There was a special place in Cynthia's heart for each of those precious souls she and Eric created. It was during one of their vacations, just after Alex was born, that they came to visit us in Texas. We really talked through wanting them to be with us and Katie. Being separated was ridiculously challenging, and who doesn't want their sister right down the street? Not too long later, they sold their house in California, hired our good mutual friend Corby Calloway, bought a house in Falcon Ranch. Not long after that, the Keeners followed the Graces, and Cynthia's dad retired and built a home in Conroe. Cynthia, a true Pied Piper, to bring as many as she could together. In this chapter, Cynthia took a job in the PACU, or the post-op unit, to the non-medical folks, working at Christus St. Catherine, and Eric was taking helicopter pilot lessons. Their mutual lives, a journey of success. The kids were small, and the parents were focused on the responsible raising of their children, gymnastics and football, cheer and birthday parties. Cynthia was nonstop from day one, integrating into the community. Cynthia and I then had the opportunity to attend college again together. We started our bachelor's degree journeys in 2005 at St. Joseph's College of Maine. Turns out, and another fun fact, Cynthia's dad's family is from the same towns in Maine where we went to college, and in the summer of 2006, we roomed together for our on-campus didactic and clinical portions of the BSN program. We were dorm mates in Maine in the summer as grown-ups without our children. It was our third time in college together, and we spent the weekend touring Maine and meeting Cynthia's extended family. Turns out my sweet Buddhist and sometimes agnostic friend was from Irish Catholic descent, and we spent an entire afternoon with a family member. I wish I could remember all the details of her relations, but I do remember she was a nun, and they talked about extended family. Truth be told, Cynthia had made contact in advance and scheduled this visit, and when we arrived, the nun hugged me and said she could see the family resemblance. Oh, I'm still going to laugh today, thinking this was a round, white-haired, blue-eyed, Caucasian, Maine, Irish Catholic nun. And I looked more like her than Cynthia did. We had a good laugh at the awkward moment. Cynthia quickly explained that she was Richard's daughter. We all had a great visit, and we still laugh about it today. We visited the Bush compound and ate pounds of lobster in Portland at DeMillo's. We were able to see Richard's childhood home and draw parallels to life journeys and talk through our shared and collective experiences. What a hoot that was. Maybe we really were related. I certainly look more like that nun than Cynthia did. I'd like to share some of my stories of this amazing and loving bestie of mine. Some that may make you smile, others cry. But this perfect, absolutely perfect friend of mine, she deserves for you to have a glimpse into a person we all loved so much. First of all, thank you, Cynthia. Thank you for making me a better version of myself. Thank you for loving and caring for my family as it was yours. Thanks to you and Eric for years of companionship, laughter, love, and tears, and enriching the lives of everyone here celebrating you today. In the event that you didn't know this, Cynthia was my son Jake's first girlfriend. Jake is now almost 26 and married. But at the time, he was in kindergarten and a husky, chunky little guy when a sweet and sassy 21-year-old college student came to my house to study for nursing exams. Not only did we use and abuse my children with Sharpie markers, drawing out anatomy and physiology all over them and listening to every possible thing we could find to identify in their body to practice for our testing. That little boy, he just looked up to Cynthia so much, he just loved her. I wish I had a picture of the two of them together at this age to show you right now. You'd smile at the thought of this wide-eyed little boy in awe of this smoking hot college chick. As Cynthia sat at the kitchen table preparing to study for our next nursing exam, Jake, always the smooth operator, who had recently gained a couple of inches in height. And I believe he was told he was losing a little weight by his grandparents. He leaned into her, sitting in the chair next to her, staring with all the passion that a 5-year-old can muster, Joey Tribbiani style, and said, "So, I'm thinning out." To which Cynthia had no idea how to respond. I think she was used to being hit on, maybe not by 5-year-olds. She didn't have an answer for this, pre-kids. Shock was on her face. But she didn't break his heart. What does one say to this? I love to hear Cynthia retell this story, and I can still picture the delight and mock shock in the retelling. I even see her eyebrows moving today, up and down, in just like, oh my gosh, what does one say to this? Her smile. Her, oh my gosh, did you see what that kid just did, look? I tell you, this relationship went on and on. Until Jake's 18th birthday, when he called her on her cell phone to say, "Hey, Cynthia, I'm legal now. You ready to leave Eric?" Laughter filled the world with Cynthia in it, and she laughed at Jake in this comment. But the truth is, it's a great bond. I can see it all now, every single moment. When she called me still laughing at Jake, and the thought of leaving Eric for him. Kids, I'm grateful for that memory and for her laughter. Jake wasn't the only member of our family that was truly enamored with Cynthia. We could also say that my father-in-law, Poppy, oh, what a sweet relationship this was. He often referred to Cynthia as his girlfriend, and this was a significant thing. Poppy spent 10 years in Parkinson's decline with countless hospital and nursing facility visits from Cynthia to check in on him. I can still hear her saying things as she sauntered into the hospital room to Dad, like, "Hey, a hot stuff," or "How's it hanging today, big guy?" To which he'd always have a chuckle and a smile. I hear her saying, "You know, Poppy, all you have to do is call or text me. You don't have to go to all these measures to get to see me. I'll come see you without a hospital involved." And it was true. She was there for him, for us, and for everyone. She brought joy to a wonderful member of our family on his final journey. She was fearless, accomplished, secure. I'm going to miss her. In my darkest days, 10 years ago this week, Cynthia and Eric stepped up into the biggest act of kindness towards my entire family as they coordinated and orchestra directed our lives when we lost our 17-year-old daughter to a motor vehicle collision just down the street from our home in Katy. Her kindnesses and dedication to me, to my family, Eric and Cynthia together planned food, tents for the backyard. I mean, July is hot in Houston, right? They framed photos of our baby girl. They got her senior pics, painted our parking space at Cinco Ranch High School. Cynthia came in the middle of the night when I couldn't breathe or talk. She answered the phone, heard my sob, and she was there. She held me, she bathed me, and for heaven's sake, she shaved my legs. Together, Eric and Cynthia protected us from the world, Jeff, Jake, and I. And like many of you here who are in their darkest days now, like her amazing children, Ariel and Alex, your mom was my sojourner, my touchstone, my voice of reason. Your parents wouldn't take money or any return on any of the wonderful things they did for us. What they gifted us in their love 10 years ago could never be repaid. In the best of times, like breaking into closed community pools to swim at 2 a.m., or our first tattoos, and the big adventures that included Palm Springs and Scottsdale, Key West, New York City, San Antonio, and Maine. I was joyful when they followed us in our move to Katy. Eric took Jeff and I flying over Los Angeles and Orange County for my 30th birthday, and it was the best gift ever. I remember, oh my gosh, Ariel and Alex, I remember your mom's face when I opened the gift certificate at the surprise party Uncle Jeff threw for me. When she said loudly, and maybe a little too proud, to our friends that she had won the best gift prize. Oh, and she did. She did. Cynthia and Eric both did that year, and Eric was a competent, capable, professional, and safe pilot. No doubt about it. If you ever had the pleasure to fly with them, you'd know that in your heart. Backyard barbecues and holiday parties. There were always fireworks and smiles with the Graces. I loved her passion and zeal for life. I shared in that with my entire being. And like Bette Midler's quote as C.C. Bloom in the movie Beaches, which every chick in this place has got to know. I know everything there is to know about you, Cynthia Grace. And my memory is long. Very, very long. Once in Houston, Cynthia and I had 2 additional opportunities to work together. Once at a hospice company in Houston for our friend Barbara Bierstadt as educators and marketers. This was most fun. We had working together since Kaiser Urgent Care with Dr. Kim. And again at West Houston Medical Center in case management. I had originally brought Cynthia over with me, but she excelled. She was a leader there, and eventually she became the lead case manager. So knowledgeable. She was smart, so smart. She continued to advance her career and sat for her board certification in case management and pediatrics during these years. And there was a real life being made at home. There was the raising of kids, gymnastics and baseball, and football and cheer. I can still hear her screaming for her babies and a passionate zeal for success. She was a competitive spirit, and that showed in the way she supported Ariel and Alex. She suffered silently from rheumatoid arthritis, and she would take her IV infusion time to talk or to text. She had other medical issues, but you'd never know it. She was brave and true and ever present for her family. She continued working and earning and striving for a better life for her kids. She sacrificed, regardless of how tired she was or how much pain she was in. She was a diligent student, a compassionate nurse, a loving wife, amazing mom, a dedicated daughter and older sister, and a real friend to anyone who knew her. Life is more than a series of dates engraved. It's truly what's happening in the dash that matters. And she lived that dash. She loved in it. She touched and improved countless lives of patients and children in her calling as a nurse. She returned to Texas Children's recently after working for a stint at Memorial Herman Katy in administration. She missed helping kids and families, and she was fulfilled in that work. Her Texas Children's family gave her career purpose and meaning, and they welcomed her return with open arms. She was happy to be back. Countless girls' nights out, weekends away, mud runs, loss, life. She showed the true way to be a humanitarian. I was blessed to know her grandparents and parents, her friends, and her brother in her life. She will never be forgotten and always remembered with gratitude and love. Her life is so much more than that series of dates and accomplishments that we talk about. In her 41 years, she lived the dash fully and completely. That time in the dash between birth and death, there was a making of a life and a legacy. Although we logged countless hours talking about religion and beliefs and our children, oh boy, did she have some disagreements with her children on beliefs. Christianity, Buddhism, agnostic, always so much going on. We rarely agreed on spirituality. That being said, my heart is full today, and I know in my soul that she is with my sweet Jackie. on the other side, keeping her company and telling her stories of our shared lives. And much like there's many stories of Cynthia, I'm not ready to share with her daughter. I don't know that I'm sure that I'm ready for her to share some of mine with Jackie either. But I know they're laughing and they're sharing the mom spirit, as I commit to doing here whenever Ariel and Alex want. I have the crazy and the silly, the serious and the loving memories of your mom. No one will ever replace her or fill that void for you, ever. Grief is a journey, and there will always be a place that you will miss and love both your parents. There will always be a loss that you will feel when you think of them. But you need to know that I'll hold these memories that I have saved for you, and you can take them from me anytime. They're available for endless checkout at your request. Whew. For the moms and dads here celebrating Cynthia and Eric, and for their precious children, Ariel and Alex, the passion and loves of their lives, I want you to know that there was no one stronger than Cynthia. Just like you, I love her with my whole being, honestly, openly. And if you had the pleasure and joy of knowing her, you knew the strong, the opinionated, the feisty. You knew that she was a perfectionist in every sense of the word. And if she was performing a task, she was giving it her all. You knew that she would fight for the right cause, and she would protect you. Any one of you, from whatever she had the power to do, whether that was calming some irate shopper at H-E-B, or kicking someone's butt for you, metaphorically or physically, like she did for Eric that time in Taco Bell. This was when they were dating. Cynthia could take on the world and your biggest bullies. She was the better friend, the better wife, the better daughter, certainly the better mom. She was tenacious at bettering herself. Competition fueled her. From our days playing tennis in college. P.S. She was the better tennis player also. Just ask Alex. She'll do it nothing. She will win. That isn't to say she didn't struggle balancing work, kids, travel, parents, and friends. She did. She often didn't feel she measured up to the best version of herself, and she wanted more for her kids, a better life, better choices, and a slower pace with a fuller passion for what is important. If you were blessed enough to be loved by her, you knew it. She was honest with you, and she loved you with her whole self. And if you laughed with her, you knew the sweet song that her infectious laugh would sing, and how she could fill a room with her extroverted self. She embodied fun, and if you needed help and were on the receiving end of that, she would help like no other. When she listed the things she was grateful for in this life, she listed Eric for loving and supporting her, even in her version of crazy. She listed Ariel and Alex and the joy in watching them play sports. She listed her dad and her mom, and the things that brought her joy were being the team mom, supporting and loving her children, being with her family, good times with her friends, especially her friends. Many things blessed Cynthia's life. Among them was the relationship she and Eric shared with Summer and Jim. They were a fierce foursome of fun, and our entire circle and network of friends will be changed. Again, no words for that. It's not just the Cynthia that I knew I'm talking about here. It's the one that you knew as well. Cynthia St. Peter Grace will always be the best example of what a friend and mom should be. We rode the dash for 20 plus years together, nursing pins and professional development and family and love. We shared an intimate relationship, and I'm better for it. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for her. Regardless of your faith, my fervent prayers for kindness and generosity are with each of you today. May you embody Cynthia's spirit and be a better person for it. May you love someone with your whole self and endlessly give to your children.
May you be a friend as she was to me. May Cynthia and Eric rest in peace until we are honored to see them again. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for honoring my friend and her husband. And thank you for blessing her family and children with your presence in this room. Many thanks. With love.
Not everyone has a friend as close as Jen and Cynthia were. Very close. And you probably know, Ariel and Alex, your parents might not have even gotten married without Jen. Because Eric not only had to be a good salesman for Cynthia, he had to go through Jen. She was the screening process. You may need Jen on your screening team also someday, Ariel. Take advantage of that. You too, okay? Alex? Well, we want to hear more about Eric. I hope we hear about him trying to get on these little acting gigs. A lot of cool stuff that your brother did, Rob. You've known him your whole life. Tell us more about your brother.
I'm going to break down. So I have to apologize to everyone first and foremost, as this is going to be the single hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. As many of you know, or if many of you have seen my brother's wedding photos, wedding video, I'm the big baby of the family, so I tend to cry a lot, and I like to hug, so anyway, friends, loved ones, and family, it's an honor and privilege for you to be able to pay tribute to a very special person, my brother and best friend, Eric Grace. My name's Robert Grace. I'm Eric's older brother. Eric was a remarkable person in so many ways. He lived his life to the fullest and touched so many people during his time here with us, as evident by how many people are here today. My brother was a special sort of person. Well, he was 2 years younger than me, but yet he acted like he was the older brother. So for as long as I can remember, he always seemed so much more mature, so grown up, so wiser than me. No matter how busy his life got, he did have time for me and always took time out for his family. He taught me so many things, and I tried to teach him a few things, like tying his shoes. Did any of you know he learned how to tie his shoes by me? I'm left-handed, so he tied them left-handed too. Or that he thought he'd be a mechanic at age 5, and he tried to fix a flat tire on my bike. He did a great job, except you have to put bolts back on the tire after you fix it. So I went off a ramp, and, well, my tire went flying. Eric was the first one there to pick me up and give me a hug and try to clean off the wounds. Eric was also a huge movie buff. I mean, as all you guys know, he probably shared lines of movies with each and every one of you. He loved to joke, play pranks, and laugh. He would laugh at his own jokes all the time, even if they weren't funny. As I said, my brother was a special sort of person. So how will I remember my brother? Well, that's easy. He was my hero. Although Eric was taking us before his time, I know he's influenced everyone who has ever known him in a way that will stay with them for the rest of their lives. Eric was just like that. When you met him, you couldn't help feeling that he was someone special, and I knew over that year, and I knew that over the years, lots of other people have felt the same way. Eric was a unique human being, and he will live on in every one of us who have ever known him, partly because he achieved so very much, but mostly because he was just Eric. He loved life and loved making people happy and including them into their... I'm sorry, people. Eric was a very dedicated, hard-nosed, lovable person. When he set his sights on something, there wasn't anything that would get in his way. When Eric was a kid, he always had a passion for flying. It started when he'd make helicopters out of cardboard boxes and our mother's broomsticks. The passion stuck with him over the years, and he was the kid that went from cardboard boxes to playing flying video games. From the flying video games, he took real lessons, helicopters, planes, anything that had wings, he would try to fly it. Eric always wanted to do the best that he could. There wasn't anything that he couldn't do. He might not do it in the manner that we think he should, but that's just what made Eric who he is. He did it his way. However, he somehow would achieve the goal or goals that were set in front of him. Eric's legacy will live on in both of his kids. Both of his kids are very strong and caring just like them. They each show his spirit and tenacity for life. Eric loved his kids more than anything, more than he loved life itself, and there wasn't anything in this world he wouldn't do for them. He loved to brag about Ariel all the time when she did something special or when she did something bad. He loved to brag about Alex if he had a great game, threw a one-hitter, or anything that was going on in his life. We both would laugh, and he would tell me stories about the things the kids did and just anything from the day in and day out life. Because I live in California, he lived here, so we talked all the time. If you know Eric, everyone knows he wasn't outspoken at all, but both of his kids are. Just kidding, Eric. But if you knew Eric, Eric was probably one of the most outspoken people that I've ever met in my entire life. I'm going to close it with this. I'm trying to make this short and sweet, but my life feels so empty right now as a huge part of my life is gone. I call my brother's cell phone daily, just hoping he'll pick it up. I want to be able to talk to him and see him just one more time. Eric was always there if I needed him about anything. It didn't matter day or night. He was always there. I'm going to miss his calls on the way home from work, from him talking about his work trips with the 2 kids in the car, and I had to watch my language. I hope that everyone here today will take the time and think about all the fond memories they had with Eric. He may be gone, but his memory will live on and fresh forever. Thank you.
Well, he said all the good stuff about his brother. Awesome, Robert. Well, I know what you said was real, and I know you could have said a lot more, but thank you so much for sharing. You look so much like your brother. Well, Dawn, I'm so glad that you can tell us more about Eric as well.
Hi, I'm Dawn, and I'm Eric's stepmother, and I just wanted to find something to read, a small poem about Eric and Cynthia. And they lived their lives to the fullest. They had a smile and laughter that drew so many people to them. They loved their family, their friends, and the adventures they shared. I'm sorry, with them all. So I found a poem that reminded me so much of Eric and Cynthia and their passion for life. And it's called I Fly by John McKee. I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter's silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done a million things. You have not dreamed of wheeled and sword and swung. High in the sunlit silence hovering there, I've chased in shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air, up the long delirious burning blue. I've toppled the wind-swept heights with easy grace, where never lark or eagle ever flew. And while with silent lifting mind I've trod the high untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God. We'll miss you, Eric and Cynthia. You're gone, but you'll remain in our hearts and forever with us. Thank you.
just hear so much love in your voice, Dawn. So much love. Well, what a beautiful, beautiful couple. So special, so many memories. And I know there are people that know them from different perspectives, maybe as a work colleague or a good friend, neighbor. And the family asked me to open it up. If a few of you would like to just share something unique or something special, a little memory, something you'll never forget about either Eric or Cynthia. You're welcome to come up if you like, or you can just simply share from where you're seated. But the family would like to hear a few of you just share a thought or two about Eric or Cynthia. Stephanie?
I can feel her right now, looking at me saying, Keener, get your act together. She wouldn't have said act, though. She would have said something else. For sure she would have. Oh, this is really hard. Eric and Cynthia, they were so much more than our best friends. They were family. And, God, Cynthia, I'm trying so hard. I got to get it together. The emptiness in my heart for the loss of our two best friends, it's really overwhelming, but I can feel it as it begins to fill with the memories of our friendship and the experiences that we shared together. The births of our kiddos. God, I'll never forget that day. You're the cutest kid I've ever seen, Ariel. Chunky little thighs and that diaper. Oh, God, I love you, kiddo. And oh, my God, Alex, that head of yours, that gorgeous big head of yours. You're just such a beautiful baby. Putting Jody right next to you as you just swatted her and played with her like a small toy, it was wonderful. God, I love you, kiddos. Just some of the best memories I'll ever have. The birthday parties, the weekend get-togethers at the house. Good Lord, the cannonballs in the pool. There were so many. The move out to Texas. I mean, we couldn't live in California without them. We had to be right behind them, 3 months behind them, right behind Jeff and Jen. We had so many great trips to Austin, to Mexico, to New York City, and those memories, those experiences will always have a special place in my heart. And last night, as I was sitting by myself, I couldn't help but just start laughing. I laughed out loud because I was remembering the time that she took me to New York City. It was my birthday. I was 41, and I missed my 40th birthday because I just had Aiden. And she and Eric and Ray planned a surprise trip to New York City for me. And it was magical. It snowed, and it was just the most amazing morning. And we walked into Central Park, and it was just filled with snow, and I was in awe with what I was seeing when a huge snowball hit the side of my face. And as I turned, there was Cynthia, giggling uncontrollably with another snowball in her hand, waiting for the next shot. And what entailed next was the two of us rolling down an embankment covered in snow, pulling snow out of our bras and our pants and laughing. And that's who I'll remember. God, I'm going to miss that smile and that laugh. I'll never forget, every time I saw her walk in the door, she hit me in my rear end and say, "Hey, hotness," which is a nickname that a few of her good close girlfriends share. She always teased me for wearing pants. There's so much more to life than pants, Keener. Put on a dress. Cynthia, this is for you today. I wore a dress just for you. She was always there when I needed her most, whether it was counseling, whether it was a late-night panic call over a kid's illness, a bump on the head, or simply the need for a girls' night out. And the gift of Cynthia is that she always knew what her friends needed, and she was always there to ensure that those needs were fulfilled. That was. And even though the grief that I've felt over this past week has just been unsurmountable, what I can feel is that the magic of Eric and Cynthia, it's at work. They both had a very special and amazing gift of bringing people together and making them feel like family. And I feel like in the face of this senseless tragedy, while I've lost so much, while we've all lost so much, I feel like I've gained so much more than I've lost. I've adopted 3 new dads. I've got Richard, I've got Steve, and I've got Bobby. You're stuck with me now. And I love you all. I've gained new brothers. I've got Rob, Jake, Brandon, Jonas. I've gained new sisters, Jen, Jamie, Karen, and most importantly, I've gained the most precious family of all with Alex and Ariel. You've always have been and you always will be my family. You'll always be in my hearts. And I love you more than words can express, and I just want you to know that I will be here for you for the rest of your lives, as will all of your friends and family that are here today. So even though our world seems a little darker today, I know it's a much brighter place up in heaven. The Cynthia and Eric that I want to remember is framed right over there, prom 2012. What a night that was. How about that suit? That's Eric. And I truly do look forward to the day that I'll be able to greet our best friends again up in heaven. We love you both. We love you forever. We love you always. It's goodbye, but it's not farewell, my sweet friends. Love you.
I better lower the mic. Eric and I always tease that we saw each other eye to eye because we're the shortest guys of everybody. My name is Ray. Some of you know me. I was very fortunate to be one of Eric's best friends over the years. Wherever Eric was, Ray was usually with him. That's why my wife and I followed him and Cynthia to Texas. I've known Eric for 20 years. Eric, Robert, and I have done a lot over the years. We have many stories to tell, some sad, mostly funny and exciting ones. Those of you that know us the closest have heard a lot of these stories. None to be repeated today. Eric was a son, a brother, a husband, a father, a wonderful father, along with his wife, Cynthia, wonderful mother. Not only was he a brother to Robert and his two sisters, he has always made me feel like a brother too. He wore many hats because Eric took on a big responsibility and never shied from them. Whether it was family or work, he was always looking to take on the world. But he did it with such ease and with his big smile on his face. We all know that gleaming smile on his face, don't we? His talents were endless. I think it goes without saying, this guy lived life like he was a bird, always soaring for the next adventure. That's why he loved to fly. We all know he was ready to take off at a moment's notice, and Cynthia would be there right by his side. They both made two of the most beautiful and respectful children, and I think it goes without saying, we see both of them in Ariel and Alex. Their love for the two of them was endless. They would do anything for the two of you. Eric would fill my phone with photos of Ariel doing gymnastics or cheerleading or Alex playing baseball. He loved them so much. Ariel and Alex were their world. God, they would do anything for them. I digress for a moment. Remember when I said Eric wore many hats? Well, he also wore large watches, as we all know. I think we all know this. He wore the biggest watches. Robert and I, and my wife, also, along with many others, including Jim and Summer. We would often tease him when he would walk through the door, and we'd say, "Flava Flav in the house." Eric would laugh along with us because he knew it was true. The damn watches were so big. I will miss his comeback comments or his movie quotes. He and I would get on movie tangents on the phone or in front of each other that would go on and on forever, and we would just laugh like junior high kids. I think we'll miss these times the most. They're very special to me. And it would put me, and he would put me in the best mood. I'd like to end this by saying, my family and I will always love, honor, cherish the times we had with the Graces. We won't ever forget them. We love you, Eric and Cynthia. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jay Keener. I'm Ray's brother. And yes, you can call us Jay or you can call us Ray. And had the wonderful opportunity of knowing Eric and Cynthia and Rob. It's a tragedy and heartwarming also to see everybody here. And there are such wonderful memories to see and remember, and seeing the memories and remembering Ariel when she was that big. And a memory that comes back was when Abby was, I think, 2 and staying the night over with Uncle Ray and Aunt Stephanie, and I believe Ariel was there as well. And they had the tent in the front room running in circles. And Uncle Ray was videotaping it and telling everybody to settle down and calm down because someone's going to get hurt. And no sooner than goes Abby running into the wall. Face first. We got to watch that in slow-mo. It was wonderful. But what's wonderful about this is that smile and that grin on that wonderful couple, Eric and Cynthia, portrays on these 2 beautiful children. That spirit is going to magnify further in life. And that is something that we are all blessed to have going forward. Eric and Cynthia are 2 wonderful, beautiful people. And Eric is a person whom I considered our adopted brother. And I say this because being in California so far across the country, when our parents got ill and had to be relocated from Arkansas back here to Texas, Eric was the first one there to help us move them back. He was the first one there to help my brother take care of my father when I was not able to be here all the time. Eric was the first one there when my brother was on vacation to check in on my father every single day and bring him milkshakes and cheeseburgers at his nursing home. That is what a son does for their father. That's what a brother does to help out. And you can't ask for something or someone to do that. And when you lose a brother, something is missing. And Robert will be there for you at all time. You're not alone. Eric is still with us in our hearts. Cynthia is still here in our hearts. Ariel and Alex, we're all here with you. Mom and Dad are still here with you. I love them. I miss them, as we all do. And they know they're sitting up there saying, as my wonderful sister over there said, pull it together, get off your rear end, and let's have fun. enjoy what we enjoyed. And love you all.
Oh my, am I gonna be able to reach? Okay. Lower it, that's what I did. Lowering, okay. I don't really know where to begin with the loss of my parents. My mom was the most amazing person in the whole world. She was the strongest person I will ever know in my whole entire life. She has been through so much as a kid, as an adult, and she always meant well. She had such a kind heart, and she loved everyone. She loved everything. This picture right here, I remember taking it. I looked at her. This is meant for a dude that's like literally obsessed with my mom, but besides the point. So I took that for him, but at that moment when I was looking through the picture, one thing she likes to say, she goes, "Shut up and just live in the moment." So by that, I realized how precious time is, and you don't know how long you have. And you should always live life to the fullest and always live in the moment. And I will always remember her by that. Me and her, we're the same people. Like, me and her are just so alike, it's scary. So we definitely did not get along as much as I hoped we would, but we had a lot of good memories together, which is very good. Loved going to the nail salon and getting yelled at because she had to pay $50 more because I cracked a nail. But, yeah, so my dad was, you know my dad, like, he's the most social person you will ever know in your life. Like, you try to get him to do one thing, and he's over there talking to someone else, and it takes about, like, an hour just to get him to, like, move one footstep. I will always remember him by that. He's the most social person. He knows how to, like, he's amazing at what he did, and his job, and just how wonderful he is. He was such a funny dude. Like, honestly, I called him dude. I didn't even call my dad. I was just like, "Hey, dude." And he's like, "Really? Don't call me dude." I'm like, "Okay, my bad." And he would always come into my room, and Haley knows this, and he would just, I don't even know, he would try to be in my life. Like, he didn't realize he's just my dad and I'm a teenage girl, so other than that, he was an amazing dad. He always loved me. He always cared for me. We always had our ups and downs, but other than that, he was an amazing dad, and I really appreciated him. And oh my gosh, I'm sorry. He would take me to go get food all the time. Like, you don't understand how many times he's taking me to Whataburger and Chick-fil-A. Oh my gosh. And I'm gonna miss him so much for my food at school. Like, this is gonna hurt. Okay. Besides his food runs for me, literally all the time, and having to beg a lot just to go get some fries and chicken, he always wanted what was best for me, and he always supported me, and my mom and dad always taught me that I'm literally here right now talking because of them. Like, I knew that they would be so proud of me right now, and they're always going to be proud of me, and that they're always watching over me. And everything I do here forward is going to be for them. Like, I want to be a nurse just like my mom. Like, that's like my goal in life now. So hopefully I'm going to accomplish that for her and live my life for her. And my dad, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do for him, but something. Maybe when I have kids one day, I'll get him food just as much as he did for me. So, yes. And I know today that this laughter is what they would totally want. So I'm glad I got y'all to laugh, because that's definitely what everyone needed. So I thank you all for all coming today and just being here to support me and all my family. It means so much for us. And all the warm hugs and everyone just, all this food at my house. Like, I'm so happy about this. Like, this is great. If you can't tell, I really love food. Besides that, yes, I can't thank you all enough for this support through this really hard time in my life and supporting my brother, mine. Such a lovely person, but yeah. So, thank you so much, and I will always love my parents, and everything I do is for them. So, thank you.
That was so awesome, Ariel. How could you better wrap up, sum up what your parents were like? So cool, isn't she? She's very cool. And I tell you what, you're very cool too, Alex. Very cool. Very cool. You know, I love the word Stephanie used a minute ago, magic. And that's what I see, that's what I've sensed through what's been shared, what's been said, that Eric and Cynthia just had a magic touch. You know, there's something magical. I mean, influencing people to move from California, leave their families, and come to Texas, that's magic. I don't know if I could do that. They did that to several people. And look at this magic. Together they created Alex and Ariel. That's magic. Oy and Richard, you had some magic to have this beautiful lady. Steve, wow. Awesome sons. Awesome. And throughout this whole time today, during this service, you've been looking at their wedding picture. What a beautiful wedding picture. Just a gorgeous couple, so full of life. And the last thing they wanted to do was to go anywhere. They definitely wanted to stay here, continue life. So I'd like to read a verse in closing that alludes to a beautiful bride. You know, the Bible doesn't have as much vocabulary. Greek doesn't have as much vocabulary as we do in English. There's nothing more beautiful than a bride like your mom, Ariel. Gorgeous. And here in Revelation 21, the Bible says, talks about the kingdom being reestablished and talks about heaven being like a bride adorned for her husband. Beautiful. A beautiful word picture. And heaven's going to be like a bride adorned for its husband. And then the Bible goes on to say, there will be no more mourning, no more crying, no more death, no more pain. The former things are passed away. No more tears. And God says, I make all things new, right. For these words are true and faithful. Let us pray. Dear God, again, we're so thankful that you worked the magic along with this family to create such beautiful people as Eric, an amazing, amazing man, and Cynthia. Thank you so much for all that they did and all that they accomplished and all that they loved. They were so loved. Thank you for giving them such amazing kids. And I know, as Ariel said, they were so proud of their kids. So bless them, be with them. May their magic stay with them and their love, I pray. Amen.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch old bandit run. Keep your foot hard on the pedal, son, never mind them brakes. Let it all hang out, cause we got a run to make. The boys are thirsty in Atlanta, and there's beer in Texarkana, and we'll bring it back no matter what it takes. Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking.
As a congregation, the congregation will remain here for a little bit till after the family leaves, okay? For that lively song, I could tell some of you were ready to jump up and get moving. Eric, I think he's too young to like Smokey and the Bandit. He's kind of young for that. But, Ray, I know you said that they were kind of an old soul, liked older classic music, Western music. That's very lively. Well, they have a wonderful reception, some great food, and the family would like all of you to please stay, join them for the food, the time together, and just sharing more memories. So at this time, you're dismissed. You're welcome to go out the back exit, and to the left for the reception. The restroom is also that way if you need to use the restroom first. So again, thank you. We appreciate all your love and support and being here today.